Hello and welcome everybody to TechSpress. In this tutorial, let's talk about affiliation marketing for beginners. In this video, we're going to discuss about what is exactly the affiliation marketing process, how we can get started, the research, discussing the importance of selecting the right product, building your online presence, how to become a content creator, and the promotion of your affiliation product. And lastly, we're going to be talking about the actual tracking, analytics, and how to scale and grow your product. Also, we can talk about what are the common mistakes and things that people do when they're just getting started into the affiliation marketing process. So let's just get started. So what exactly is affiliation marketing? If this is the first time you hear about this kind of description, well, speaking about affiliation marketing, the affiliation marketing is an advertising model in which a company compensates the third-party publishers to generate traffic or leads to the company products and services. So the third party usually common as Amazon, it could be eBay, it could be Shopify. These guys published are affiliates, and the commissions fee incentivizes them to find ways to promote the company. And a most easy way to understand this is that somebody else pays you to offer an actual product or an actual service that you can give them people so they can be more incentivized to buy, to use, or to subscribe to your products. And you're going to be earning a commission for making the referral or the named affiliation call here. So the process and let's say the importance to the affiliation process program can have really great potential benefits for both sides. For the very first side, which in this case it would be the affiliation guy, let's say Amazon at the end of the day is going to be gaining more and more customers. And on the other side, you're going to be earning money to drive some traffic to Amazon. This is how places in e-commerce like Shopify become really popular within all the actual internet because they are actually making some really affiliation marketing tips. And actually, if you check it out here into my computer, I'm checking it out an actual blog that I'm going to leave you down below in the description where you have 29 based affiliation marketing programs for beginners. So this actually the next field we're going to be discussing about today is how to get started. So here, what I wanted to do the very first thing, now that I understand how does affiliation program marketing works, is that how I can get started. And the very first thing I wanted to do in order to get started is to find and make a research of an actual niche. So a niche is going to be helping me to find out my marketing and my products. So there is a lot, but truly a lot of affiliation marketing programs that you can join. But do you want to join something that you are specifically interested in? And for the record, to be something that you're actually really enjoying. So if you wanted to use, let's say, for example, the clothing branding niche, what I want to do is to go and open a new tab. I can go for clothing. Let's go for affiliate program. Usually it appears a lot of programs when you just type into Google affiliation program. But in my case, I'm using three keywords, three really important keywords. For example, I am using the niche, which is clothing. I am using an affiliation program here. And if you wanted to use, let's say for beginners, you can just use that option. So check it out here. We have from sources across the web, we have Authority Hacker, we have the Referral Candy, Empire Flippers, and much more. Let's click into this one that says 30 fashion affiliation programs you should know. So this one is another blog that can be, let's say, showing you places where you can do some affiliation speaking about the actual clothing niche. So really important to check it out here. We have American Giant, we have the 12 referral programs here, we have the Able, the Evelyn, and there's actually much more. So this is the power they wanted to choose the reliable between the affiliation program or the network you're going to be choosing. So once you are interested into something and once you check it out, the requirements, and of course, this is not available for all the actual people. Sometimes it depends on the country you're currently living. But let's say that you are able to, let's say, work with this guys. So the very next step, what you wanted to do is to check it out what are the relevance or the interested that this actual, in this case, companies are actually looking for in order to gain forces and let's say level up or boost up their actual audiences. So once again, you do have the actual link down below in the description, and here the very first affiliation program that Shopify, of course, offers is the actual Shopify benefit. So becoming a Shopify commerce platform affiliation is made up for thousands of global content creators. Affiliation gain access to a global creativity. Shopify offers commissions on all in this standard plans, and as you can see, we have the basic Shopify, the Shopify, and the advanced Shopify. So basically, in this affiliation program, we're going to be offering people to, let's say, join the Shopify and use a basic, a Shopify, or an advanced Shopify plan, and commissions as high as $150 for all full-priced pan referrals, depending on the merchant location. Now we have information about getting paid, we have information about payment method, and the cookie duration. So in this case, let's say that I'm interested into the Shopify affiliation program. So what I do, first of all, is to find the place where I wanted to get started with affiliation program. Now I make my research. Now I see that I am able to get started at the actual section of the affiliation program, in this case, Shopify. So let's go into apply now, just for this example, so you can see what is the actual next step. So I hit into apply now. And now this one actually is going to be sending us into a new section called apply to become a Shopify affiliate, earn commission by referring new or established merchants to build their business on a Shopify store. It's 5 minutes to complete. So this one, in this case, is going to be asking us to make like a quick survey so they can be understanding what are we, like a company, an individual content creator, an influencer, so they can know a little bit more about ourselves and figure out if this one is actually eligible for us or not. So check it out here. We do have the payout Shopify contract terms. We do have the payout details. Ranked number 1. Customer country is this one. Payout $150 per item. Customer country is, so it totally depends on where the people get started with. In this case, let's say like the goal is to reach people from Australia, Canada, and there we go. So I can try to keep that in mind. Let's go and scroll all the way down after you check it out all the actual contract. It's really important, guys, you check out all the affiliation program terms, and after that, what you wanted to do is to hit into accept. Now sign up and start earning. In this case, I'm going to just use my actual account because we already have an account into Shopify. But if you don't have an account into the application, into the affiliation program you're going to be working on, go into sign up with email. In this case, I'm going to go into sign in with impact.com. Now, I'm going to just make a quick bubble in here because impact.com is the actual section where there's a lot of influencers that actually work with a lot of company. Here into impact.com, we can not only work for Shopify, you can always work with Canva, with SendDrop. There's a lot of applications that actually come directly from impact.com. So if you don't have an account here into impact.com, what you want to do is to get started here today, because usually everything runs for and by impact.com. So I'm going to go here into sign in. Now I have the review my Shopify and search in order. So I have the online sale API. I'm going to scroll all my way down. Once again, I needed to approve the contract and I want to continue, right? So hit here. And now basically it says your application is pending review. This is the part where Shopify is going to be taking care of our actual affiliation process. So we're going to be inside, or maybe we're not. So this is totally depending on what are your actual strategies to bring people to, in this case, Shopify, and to actually start with an actual plan. Doesn't matter if it's a basic Shopify or an advanced plan, but the actual importance here, the goal is that people actually get started with an actual plan. So now as you can see here into impact.com, we do have so much more than just Shopify. For example, I have Namecheap, I have Digital Cuda, we have Motionic, I have Biolee, and much more. Usually this is totally depending on where's the actual country you're currently living. So once again, you wanted to check that out directly into impact.com so you can see which one fits for you the best. And even you can check it out the actual categories here. If you're interested into, let's say for example, art and photography, so you're gonna hit here. And I have available Pixpah, Platagraph, Skillshare. Show. There's a lot of even applications that maybe you haven't heard before. So it's really great that sometimes you find out which is, let's say, like a niche that actually comes with your actual type of content or your videos that you're making. Let's say, for example, that I'm working into marketing for music and stuff. So usually what I do is to, let's say, talk about only music. So I can look out here for movies and music. I delete this art and photography, and I have available the Baywood, Shutterstock, Multinic Audio, and I talked about how people can, let's say, use this to attract really great stuff here into their videos. So, which brings us to the next step. Once you have been successfully approved by these companies, this brings us to the online presence. The online presence is how we can actually bring people or to incentivize people to do what you're actually, let's say, to building an online presence. Usually, like everybody does here, is to create two things: a blog or a website. This is going to be helping us to drive organic traffic. And when I talk about organic traffic, is that you are not paying for people to check out what you are actually, let's say, making affiliation progress. If I want people to get started into Shopify, I don't want to create some ads or, let's say, projects or stuff that I'm willing to pay so it can be reached to more people and they are willing to see that product, and then they go directly into Shopify and they pay per an actual plan. 1 out of 10 people do that. So if you wanted to do some organic content, that means create the marketing without having to pay any of those. What I can totally suggest you is to start a website or blog totally for free. And in this case, since we're going to be using a tool that is for free, I'm going to go here into sites.google.com. This is an actual section directly from the Google Workspace that can be helping you to create an actual website totally for free. So it's really great to have this tool if you're just getting started as an affiliation program marketing section. So I'm going to go here. We have the template gallery. And as you can see, we do have different templates that you can use. For example, I have the personal, I have work, I have the event, the wedding, the education, and much more. Usually what I do is to start totally from scratch, but you can do, let's say that I wanted to go directly from Radiate, for example. And here is going to be showing us our template, and we can use this template to edit our content. So what we wanted to do in here is to, let's say, start a blog or to start an actual website. So I have Tina Smith, PhD. I am recent PhD graduate from London University. Once again, this is only an actual template. So what we can do is to try to change this for, let's say, our branding, our logo. So let's say that I'm going to go here into TechExpress. I'm going to go for marketing tools, and I'm going to hit into add a logo. So usually what I do here is to add my own content, my own information about my branding. If you don't have any of this, this is the part when I'm going to be showing you another tool that can be helping you to get started totally for free. So I'm going to go and open a new tab, and here I'm going to go for Canva.com. Into Canva, you can do truly a lot of stuff totally for free once again. So let's go here into create a design, custom your size. I'm going to go something easy. Let's go for 500 pixels, really important. I create my new design. And now that I'm in here, what I wanted to do is to get started with my actual logo. So I'm gonna go here into search elements. Let's go and look out for this. And I'm gonna go into graphics. Now, usually here into graphics, you can look for almost any kind of content. You can use this totally for free. There's a lot of elements that are, let's say, as a Canva Pro. I do have an actual application, an actual account of Canva Pro, because actually this is really interesting. So if you want to check that out, I'm going to leave you that down below in the description so you can check that we have more elements and we have more tools into Canva. So usually what I do now is to just scroll. Let's say that I'm interested into, I'm going to be using actually this one because actually it does look really great. So I'm just going to try to change the colors. So instead of blue, let's go with something more yellow. So check that out here. What I'm doing here is just to try to change a little bit of what we're actually wanted to. And in this case, it's about our branding logo. So check that out. So we have now our logo here. I'm going to go into Shop, Download, transparent background, and download. Once again, there are a few tools that are only available for Canva Pro, so you might want to check that out once you downloaded your stuff. If you wanted to check that out, once again, the plans I'm going to leave you down below in the description, so check it out. I'm going to go back here into Google. Now I'm going to upload the logo that I have just created totally for free. I'm going to go into Open. Alt text is going to be helping people to have trouble seeing your content. So you don't want to focus a lot on that. Favicon should be exactly the same logo of my branding account. And there we go. So I'm going to go now into X. And there we go. So now I have my logo in here. Now let's go and delete this title. And I'm going to go and create something like we have just seen in here. Remember the blog that we saw of Shopify? The one that says 29 best affiliation marketing programs for beginners. Now, in my case, I'm going to do something, let's say similar, but I'm not going to be talking about 29 best affiliation marketing. I'm going to be talking about the best e-commerce platform in the 2023. So I'm going to just leave this like that. And now this image, I'm going to try to delete this image and replace it. I can upload my own images, or I can select a new one. In this case, I'm going to go into select. And now usually what you can do is to go into Google Images, and let's go for Shopify. There we go. So now you can choose, let's say this one. Gonna hit into insert, and there we go. So the best e-commerce platform in the 2023. So now what I'm going to be doing here is just to get started with a new section. Let's go for text box. And here what I wanted to do is to go with the best tool so far. And this is the part where you wanted to just input your own information about, in this case, Shopify. Now, I might know what you might be thinking that this is going to be really tough because you need to create a blog, you have to add a lot of information, and all of that. So I'm going to be talking about now a new tool that can be helping you to create content, like for example a blog, where you don't have to do absolutely anything, just to ask. This is for artificial intelligence. So I'm going to be using Canva a little bit later. I'm going to be using that later. So I'm going to just not quit this. I'm going to just leave it like that. So I'm going to open a new tab. And here, let's go for chat.openai.com. And here we do have ChatGPT. So here into ChatGPT, we can create, or we can ask the artificial intelligence to help us to create almost anything. And this application is going to be helping us to do it by ourselves. So if we wanted an introduction to talk about the benefits of Shopify, let's go for that. I want to incentivize that this is a great tool to start e-commerce. Now, as you can see, we have the artificial intelligence do our work. We don't have to do like a lot in here. Just wait a few seconds here. So here we have now this great tool. You can just check it out. Let's go for copying it. And I'm going to paste it here into my new text section. Let's go and try to change a little bit more of our actual section. For example, here my color, I can change the title. Let's go and change the font, normal. Once again, I'm going to do exactly the same thing in here. So check this out. We have something really easy and professional done here. Shopify has risen to become one of the most popular and trusted e-commerce platforms, and it's not hard to see why. It offers a wide array of advertisers, advantages that make creating and managing your online store. Feel free to use this introduction for your blog post. Just delete this part, of course, because this is created by ChatGPT. So there we go. So I'm going to open something more into my new blog section. I'm going to talk a little bit more about Shopify. So where it says, nice to meet you, let's delete this. Let's go for the benefits of Shopify. There we go. The benefits of Shopify. So once again, you can go back into ChatGPT. I want to talk, or let's say, bring me a few benefits of Shopify. Now, before we continue, it's really important, guys, that you know that all the information that comes directly from the ChatGPT comes from the 2021, and that will be actually it. So the latest information that you can ask to ChatGPT is the 2021 year. If you, let's say, for example, wanted to talk about the Oscars of the 2022, this information is not going to be added into ChatGPT because they have the most recent information is at 2021 year. So you wanted to just check that out. With that being said, maybe Shopify has implemented more stuff in the year 2022 or in this year or the 2023. So that means that I needed to check that out myself in a manual way so I can add this. And of course, I incentivize these new tools into my blog section. So the benefits of Shopify, once again, I double click all of this info, I paste this new section. So I delete this one. Certainly, here are a few benefits of using Shopify. 1. User-friendly interface, customizable templates, secure and reloadability, and there we go. So I'm going to just delete this part, and just to make my blog a little bit more interesting is by adding a few images. So I have the benefits of Shopify. Let's go here into images, select, and I'm going to go into Google Images, and let's go for e-commerce. Now, as you can see, we have a lot of images that we can choose. Let's say, for example, this one. Insert, and I'm going to go here into uncrop, put this in here, and usually if you wanted to use this, let's say as a whole images, what we can do is to try to select the section, and usually I delete this part, or to go for section colors, I go for imaged and select. So this section is going to be now added with, let's go for e-commerce once again. I choose this image, I hit into select, and instead of using this image, I'm going to use this text and I'm going to put that in here. So I'm going to just delete this part. I'm going to add this text. I'm going to make this like that and just center it. And now what I can do is to try to make this a little bit more big enough, or to add some space here. For example, here. Right? So adding a divider or whatever. So this is going to be helping you a lot. And it's going to be taking care really easy to add the creativeness and let's say all our images. All of that's going to be helping your blog to look much more interesting. So now we have created an actual blog. What is left to be done is to add the button, the action, the click section where you want it to people to get started in here. So usually here into the impact.com, once you are, let's say, approved, you're going to be getting your own custom URL. So in this case, I can go here into my plans, I have my account, and here I have my programs. So if, let's say, I have my custom URLs, I'm going to go for Shopify prices. Usually this kind of sections is going to be taking people to get started for free, let's say 1 month for 3 months. So let's assume that this is our personal URL for affiliation stuff. So when people, let's say, try for free the basic plan, are going to be earning $100. When people check it out, the advanced plan, are going to be earning $400 and much more, and so on and on and on. So you can go here into this new Google Sites. And now I can add my action button. So let's go here and paste our links, our personal affiliation program URL. And here into name, you can use a type, let's say start or begin now or begin here. And now here is my button. So I'm going to just make this, let's say, so huge. I move this a little bit down here. And if you want, you can change the color if you want. In my case, actually, I think that I kind of like this. So I'm just gonna leave this like that. And now let's go into published. So you hit into publish, it's gonna be asking what is the name of your actual tool. Usually we have sites.google.com view. In my case, TechSpress marketing tools. If you kind of like this, go into published. and you are now successfully done into your new blog or website. We have now created, let's say, the very first step of our online presence. So you cannot expect that people come directly into your blog and they started to do stuff as you do nothing. What you wanted to do is to, let's say, work really hard to bring people into your blog or to start to create more content and incentivize people to go into, in this case, into Shopify, because we created an actual affiliation process. We have our custom link, and now they're going to be paying us each time someone subscribe as an affiliation price for a basic or whatever plan of Shopify. So I have now created a blog. So what can I do now? There's a lot of things that I can do. I can use social media, for example. So if you don't know this by now, TikTok is one of the social media that so far is, let's say, getting started and becoming truly popular. So if I go here into TikTok, I can go into search and I can type Shopify, or let's go for e-commerce for beginners. And they're gonna have a lot of videos that people are actually, let's say, creating. And check it out. How to earn money, how to get started into e-commerce. I click here. So check this out. This guy is going to be helping you to how to get started, how this guy actually went viral. And usually what they do at the end of the video is to create an action button. Let's say that if you wanted to know more tips, if you wanted to get started, just click down below into this video. And usually what they do is to add their affiliation link. So they're going to be earning a few commissions for the actual application that they're actually talking about. This is something that you can do into your social medias. You can create content for TikTok, you can create content for Instagram, you can create content for Facebook, you can do so much more. And the best part is this is actually totally free. Why I can suggest you to use TikTok mainly, because TikTok is a great organic growing that is actually totally for free for people who are just getting started with an actual video. So you're not needed to pay any kind of money for reaching new potential strong audience. What you just need to do is to create the right content creation, use the right hashtags, and post at certain specific times at TikTok. If you're not interested into creating content like this guy, you don't want to, let's say, appear into these videos, you can do something different than just making these self-talk videos. I can do something like this. For example, this guy created an actual video where they're actually just adding images and prove which one is like the best e-commerce business in the 2023. So usually you don't need to do like a lot of stuff, just adding text, adding really strong and interesting images so people can, let's say, get more incentivized to do this. Now, this is one way that you can promote an actual affiliation link. But there's another solution that I can do, that you can do in order to, let's say, create some presence into, in this case, let's talk about only Shopify. If I open a new tab, I'm going to go into YouTube. And what you wanted to do in order to get started with something, usually what you do is to ask about, everybody wants to know about what people are actually thinking on what you're actually trying to use. So if you wanted to, let's say, for example, to buy an iPhone, if you wanted to buy another smartphone, you usually ask YouTube, TikTok, or your friends or your family, what do they think about this actual product? Because you wanted to know what are the actual people telling about the actual product that I am about to buy or to try it out. So if I go directly into YouTube, you can see that maybe Shopify for beginners, and I have tons of video about Shopify. Everybody talks about Shopify. And if I choose, let's say, whatever video, I'm going to click this one, a really random video. I scroll a little bit down and I hit into the actual description. We have the famous Shopify free trial. So this is an affiliation marketing URL. So when people check your video, you bring value to the people who watch the video. At the end of the video, you're going to be seeing the actual links. So people are now going to be getting more incentivized to click into the Shopify link section that they left into the description, and they can go directly into the Shopify pricing. They check this out, they checked out the prices, but they don't check this a lot because we have already talked about this into a video. In this case, let's say this guy video, and these go directly into the try for the first 3 months for only $1, and after that they receive the money. Then this is the part where Shopify wins and you as well. So now that we talked about how to get started into the affiliation marketing process, how to look out for your niche, how to get started with a few content creations, we wanted to talk about our actual reviews. We wanted to talk about the tracking and analytics. So how do we check out how many people clicked into our link, how many people checked out our, in this case, our blogs. Usually when you create an actual TikTok video, you have access to your own analytics, and you can check that out directly into your profile. You can always go into your enterprise section and check that out how many people checked your videos, how many people checked, clicked into your links. We have the resumes, we have some videos, last 30 days, last 28 days. But in the case that you're actually looking for more information, more statistics and information about, in this case, a website that was totally free that we created, for example, it comes actually Google Analytics. So Google actually comes with a lot of applications, a lot of tools that you can use totally for free. And when it comes to tracking and analytics of your actual product, Google does not leave us alone with that kind of info. Let's go into Google Analytics, and we have the analytics tools and solutions for your business. So we have Google Analytics for beginners. I'm going to click in here. And now, as you can see, we have the register section. So which one best describes your role? You hit now into next, and then you can just get started with the very first part of the Google Analytics Academy. So what I do now is to just go back. I scroll a little bit down, and I go directly into analytics.google.com. So usually I just delete this part and go directly into the analytics.google.com. If you don't have an account into the analytics of Google, usually what you just need to do is to just sign into your Gmail, and you're going to be now signed in. So now check this out. If you wanted to track the information about, let's say, this site or whatever site, usually what you just need to do is to go here into your account, create an analytics account, create your properties and applications, and now, as you can see, we have this new section where I can get started by adding the tagging instructions, so I can, let's say, retrieve the data from my actual website. So in this case, what I wanted to do is to get started with an actual new analytics account. So let's say that I choose, let's say, for example, this one. I go for this one, for example, and now I have no data received from these actual website. If you see this, usually what we wanted to do is to get started with, let's go back into Google Sites, let's go into settings, and since this is totally for free from Google, usually we do have the analytics tool, and we can add Google Analytics tracking or measurement ID. So connect your site to a Google Analytics account to get insight and metrics of usage. So you can click into learn more, or you can just go back where you're actually before. So I'm going to go here and to sign up for an analytics account. So since you already have an account here, I'm going to go into sign in. Now that I'm inside the analytics.google.com, what I wanted to do is to get started with my very analytics section to add the analytics property. So what I do here is to add my analytics property ID. In this case, it could be actually, let's say, my very first time into an account. I have the property. So you can see they have the no edit received from the website yet. I'm going to go into getting tagged instructions. And now I have all of this information. So usually what I do is to get started with my streamed details. I have the installation instructions. And now what I want to do is to go here into my website. I go for copy the published site link. I copy this link and I paste it in here. So I scan this and let's go for install manually. And in this case, I use the measurement ID. I go back here, settings, analytics, and I paste my measurement ID. Now I have the enable analytics. So I can go back now here into my Google Analytics. I go into home, let's go into reports. And now here I can track the information about how many users checked out my actual blog, where they actually come from, the country they come from, the activities here, the conversions, let's say how many people clicked into the link that we have added there, the button here, how many people clicked into the basic plan, into Shopify plan, into an advanced plan, and so on and on and on. So usually we have really great options that we can use to track really great content to get started here as an affiliation process. So now let's talk about what are the common mistakes that people do when they're just getting started into an actual affiliation marketing program. And the very first one is to do nothing after you finish to publish your content. Let's say, for example, let's assume that we have just created a few videos into TikTok, we have created a few videos into Instagram, we created our actual blog here into G-Site, and we have now tracking here some analytics. And we're actually doing nothing, right? This is the part where you actually wanted to do more than just that. So if you actually wanted to gain really great customers, let's say you wanted to gain conversions, you wanted to do so much more than just nothing. If you wanted to do nothing, you have to first of all check it out and check out some results. After you have a few results, then you can try to do nothing, but you have to have a really great amount of work in order to do nothing. This doesn't happen, let's say, at the end of the day or from one day to another. It's really hard working. So from the very first day that you're just getting started with a few videos, let's say for example, if you just created a few content, you create your blog, now the next day it's time to track and check out all the information about what people are actually telling to your videos. If you go directly into your social media, for example, you wanted to track out how many people tracked your video, how many people watch your video, how many people comment into your video, so you wanted to comment that back. You wanted to incentivize more people to watch more of your information. How many people liked your video, how many people, so you can see if your actual content is working or not. If your content is not working in the very first 3 days, that means that you need to change this strategy and try another kind of video creation. If you see that you have a lot of people that come directly into your blog, but you don't see anyone clicked into, let's say, the begin here, that means that we need to make a little bit more attractive. I wanted to make more attractive my actual website. That's the part which you want to improve as much as you can and try to just try and fail, rather than just try and do nothing. Another advice that I can give you, and a common mistake that a lot of people do, is to make affiliation, join an affiliation program that is really popular. So we're actually using the Shopify tool for, let's say as an example, but if you see the amount of people that actually do some affiliation program of Shopify, it's actually immense. And I believe it's like the popular and the most popular into the affiliation program so far. So that means that there are truly a lot of people who are doing this kind of videos, who are doing this kind of blogs and those kind of content into TikTok. So that means that there is a lot of marketing, there is a lot of audience and a lot of competition out there. So every day people are creating videos about Shopify, about affiliation processes, affiliation marketing, and I believe this might not be the way to get started as an actual beginner. So you wanted to actually find out which are like the best programs that not so much people are, let's say, interested in. And to find out, let's say, a great tool that can be helping you to find out what is the trending into your country is to go directly into Google Trends. Now, into Google Trends, you can just enter a keyword to see how it's trending. So let's go into e-commerce. I explore the actual topic into Mexico, and Mexico, let's go for past day, let's go for the past 90 days. And into category, I'm going to scroll a little bit down and I'm going to try to look out for something like business and industrial. and into web search, I'm going to go and just leave this like that. So check it out. Your search does not have enough data to show here. That means that here into Mexico City is not that trendy, the e-commerce info topic. But if I try to change this from, let's say, 30 days, and I try to be more specific, let's say instead of going for worldwide, let's go into Canada actually. Now, as you can see, we have truly a lot of interested into Ontario. So people into Ontario are interested into the e-commerce. They're interested into profit margin, search engine optimization, lean manufacturing, and digital information. So those related topics can be helping me to figure out what kind of content are people actually looking for. And I can go into the trending now section. Into the trending now, I can see what is actually trendy right now. For example, you have Portugal, you have info about, let's say, football, real-time search trends, and I can change this from Argentina, for example, and into all category. Let's try to change that into business. So you have now electric vehicles, I have iRobot, Microsoft Corporation, investment funds, natural gas, ketchup. So I have like an idea of what I can do, what kind of e-commerce I can join, what kind of affiliation marketing process I can join. Once again, you have the impact.com, check it out, what are the actual branding company that can be helping you to get started as an actual beginner, depending on what is the actual niche that you choose. So just to conclude into this video, you wanted to actually be really certain and interested into the niche that you're actually going to be working with. If you see that has Shopify, in this case, let's say this is just an example because we know this is not true, but if you see that Shopify actually, let's say, has a really low amount of people who are, let's say, making the affiliation programs, but Shopify has a lot of money to offer for affiliation marketing process, and you have the rights to do this, and you have, let's say, the tools, that doesn't mean exactly that you can be using Shopify, because if you're not interested into the Shopify world, if you don't know how to use Shopify, if you actually don't like the application at all, I believe it's going to be a little bit hard to try to incentivize people to use an application that you don't even know or you don't even like to use. So it's really important that from the very first day you find out an actual tool that is going to be really, let's say, useful and interesting for your own needs, so you can spread the word with the actual interested that you have, with the niche, with the affiliation that you choose. So once again, in this video we covered a lot, but truly a lot of elements. We covered a lot of tools that I'm going to leave you once again down below in the description, so you can start using those totally for free. Those are totally optional, but what I do in order to create an affiliation marketing is to use these mainly tools so I can get started from day number one. If you want to see real results from our affiliation marketing, you can leave us a comment down below, and then later on we can see if we can create something for you, so we can track our content, we can track our analytics, our earnings, and we can share that information for you guys, so you can see how do we do this, so you can use that information to, let's say, incentivize yourself to get started from day number one, and a few tools that we use in order to gain more customers, more money, and of course, more benefits of an affiliation program. So don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. If you want to see more great tools of how you can get started in affiliation marketing, we have lots, but truly lots of videos of affiliation marketing, Shopify, and much more directly here into TechSpress. Thank you so much for watching the video. Hopefully guys, we can all see you next time.